Get ready with me to take my first ever passport photo. I've never gotten a passport photo taken before, so I've spent all morning watching videos. I found out so much from watching these videos. I'm just gonna gua sha a little bit beforehand with my nurse roller Jamie just to kind of like de-puff my face. I've seen them literally make some girl go to the cosmetics counter because her face was like too shiny. So I'm seeing more people lean matte, but I don't love a matte base on me anymore. These are the CourseRx peptide eye patches I have on right now. They help just give my under eye a little bit of hydration and zhuzh, which I needed this morning. And then this is the Topicals lip balm. A lot of people are just saying that the point is to be snatched, and so people are recommending that you do like a half slip back so that your face can be like pulled up and snatched. But if there's one thing I am not doing, it is a slick back, because a slick back does not look good on me. We will just be wearing our hair down, so that is like the one thing I'm not going to be listening to. However, I am going to fill my brows in with the ABH Dip Brow pomade because this is my tried and true. I have been using it since 2016. I love a good brow pen, don't get me wrong, but for a super snatched brow, I want to go in and just perfect it with this super thin Patrick Ta brow brush and make sure my brows are perfect and symmetrical. I think that turned out pretty good. Now I'm going to prep up my skin with the POV Soothing Priming Milk. It's one of the only milks that doesn't break me out. The rest of them flare up my eczema, and I don't quite know why. I'm gonna go ahead and take these off. They're nice and absorbed. I've been loving this skincare lately, so this is what we're doing. Also so funny, but my self-tan is like here and here, but it wore off here. And then the Nourishing Glow Serum, these are like the only two that I use, but I do use them both, and I feel like it makes my skin look incredible. And I'm gonna go in with the Glow Dewy Primer. I'm sorry, this is the Say. What did I call it? I don't know. Might I add, I think my brows turned out really good, and I'm a little bit nervous to do too much makeup because I've also heard that if you do like a full face, they straight up won't take your photo, and I do not want to make another appointment. I've never had a passport before, so this is my first ever passport photo, but I do take my ID photo very serious. So I mostly think if we just focus on the complexion and keep the eyes very simple, we'll be in a safe zone here. I'm going to use the Estee Lauder Double Wear makeup. I need to get a pump for this, I really do, because it is very annoying to do this without a pump, not gonna lie. If you guys are still watching this, go enter my giveaway. It's pinned on my page. I'm giving away a bunch of makeup, skincare, perfume, etc. Trying to hit 300k, so go enter. The best thing you can do for your complexion is to use a clean foundation brush. Clean brushes overall, like your makeup looks so much better when your brushes are clean because you have so much more control over the colors and the precision. But do as I say, not as I do, because this is definitely not clean. This is the Tati foundation brush, and I love it. It's perfect if you do your eyebrows first, which I always have and always will do my brows first, but you're able to just get in there in every little crevice, and then the other side, you get to go in and blend everything out with a little foundation brush. This is my all-time favorite concealer. I wore this on my wedding day. It is the Lancome Tint Idole Ultra Wear Concealer. It is just so hydrating and looks so flawless on the skin. It is a bit pricey, but she is so good. So this is what I'm going to use today because she's just like a tried and true. I know she's not going to fail. It's 9 a.m. now. My appointment's at 10:15, but it is right down the road. Apparently you can get photos and stuff like Staples and CVS. I made my appointment at UPS because there were so many applications in different places you could go online, and I had never gotten one before that I was scared if I wasn't like gonna go somewhere real. I don't know. We got like 3.5, almost 4 inches of snow like 2 or 3 days ago, and it's already almost completely melted, and we were supposed to get snow this evening, but it moved up to today, so it's supposed to start snowing at like 11, and I hate driving. I hate driving in the snow, in the weather. It gives me such terrible anxiety, so I had prepared and made this appointment when I thought I could get it done with plenty of time, and now I feel like I'm on a crunch to beat the weather home. This is the Smooth Blur Contour Stick from ABH in the shade Shadow. It's such a beautiful, beautiful tone, and I'm gonna make sure that we're really snatching the face. We have the world's steepest driveway. I mean, maybe not the steepest, but it is very steep and very long, and my husband drives like a small car. He drives like a Honda Civic, so I'm gonna have to rush home and try to salt the driveway because we were not prepared for the snow to hit this early. My husband was a military kid growing up. His husband was in the military for his whole, his dad was in the military for his whole life. So like they lived in Korea, the Netherlands, they lived in Germany, and so he traveled and has been out of the country for years at a time, and like literally went to middle school in Germany. He speaks German, but I have never been out of the country. We don't inherently have a trip planned, but his parents always talk about wanting to go back and visit Korea, so I'm hoping by doing this, I'll at least be like a step ahead of the game and ready to do something if the opportunity ever reveals itself. I'm gonna take my concealer brush and just gently clean up underneath the contour just to make sure we're like super lifted and snatched. I'm gonna use a little tiny bit of white concealer right in my inner corner and a little bit in the center of my face just to add a little bit more dimension here. Then going in with Patrick Tashi's blushing. This is like a rosy mauve-y, very wearable, very natural kind of blush. And going in with the powder and then the cream in true Patrick Ta fashion, because it looks wonderful when you do it this way, but only with his formula. You never want to put a powder over creams unless you are setting it with setting powder first. Like, you know what I'm nervous about? Going into the post office to get this photo. Every time I go to the post office, I feel like people are so grumpy, and I just want everyone to be in a good mood and be happy. I've been obsessing over this brow gel, and I normally don't use brow gel. This is the $1 Billion Brow Lift from $1 Billion Beauty, I think is the brand. I'm not entirely sure. It's on my LTK, but this is just a great brow gel. It has very strong hold, but it doesn't give you that pure laminated look unless you go in and really aim for that, which I never am. I just don't think laminated brows look that great on me. But this adds shape and hold to my brow without giving those white flakes and puts my brow hairs exactly in place, which ends up making your brow appear fuller than it is if you manipulate the hairs to lay exactly where you want them to lay. Bringing back an oldie but a goodie for my under eyes. This is the Makeup Revolution Translucent Setting Powder. I feel like I have been trying to find something that's as good as this for specifically my under eye for about a year now, and I was like, let me go back to that. Let me just pull out that powder because it looks so smooth and beautiful under the eye. It doesn't crease or wrinkle or cake. And it also gives just a little bit of brightness. So I love this specifically for under the eye and down the sides of the nose. And then I will use the Blurfection from L'Oreal for the rest of my face. This is the Blurfection in the shade Translucent Light. And we're going to go in and push her all over the rest of the face because she is such a blurring, beautiful powder, but she's a little too dark for my under eyes. I'm gonna curl my lashes. Of course, I can't find the liner I want to use, so I'm gonna use the Lancome one in the shade Syrup, which is a brown that is really pretty. And I'm gonna do the tiniest wing ever just to pull up that corner outer edge of my eye. Kind of lining my whole eye with it because we are going to do like a nice thin lash and I do want that hidden. I'm going to go in with a darker brown eyeshadow just right up against that lash line and really, really define it. Just a little House Labs bronzer, just the teeniest little bit to warm up outside perimeter. Use this little brown right here underneath the eye just for a little added definition. Brush Flawless. Makeup Forever Anywhere Caffeine, MAC Flesh Pot, YSL 79, Essence Tubing Mascara. These are the Kiss Lashes in Bare Affair. They are like the perfect natural, just zhuzh. This is the final look. I think it turned out really good. Let's hope they accept it and that the photo turns out good because I'm going to have this apparently for the next 10 years.